This is the 2020 Tiffin Wayfarer 25RW, and this has got to be one of my favorite layouts in a Class C. It's got just an enormous slide along the driver's side, which opens up the interior. We're going to see that in just a moment. And there are so many things to love about this RV, but there are also a couple things that are just difficult to get over. We're going to talk about all that and more. Let's head inside and see this 2020 Tiffin Wayfarer 25RW. Okay, before we head on into the inside, let's just take a quick look at the layout of the 25RW. And here you see it. We have the slide on the driver's side extended here. And this gives you a dinette in the front. It can be configured as a dinette in the front, or in the one that we're looking at today, we have the reclining theater seating. That's 68 inches, or you can opt for the optional 70-inch trifold sofa there. And then directly behind that is your Murphy bed, and that can also be put up and kind of give you a second living space, which we'll see. Along the passenger side, we have our galley, and then in the very back, we have our dry bath. There's also a loft above the cab. All right, as we step inside, this is the beautiful Tiffin logo on the door. Gotta say, that's kind of sexy looking. As we go inside, this is with the slide out and with the theater seating there at the front. And it's a nice look. I like the wood. I like the ultra leather. I like the feel of it. It's very spacious as you step inside. Let's just take another quick look here. Just a sweeping camera shot here, showing both the front lounge and the Murphy bed lounge and your galley. Just really nice overall. Let's take a quick look as we pull the slide, as the slide is in this shot, and you can see I'm extending the slide out. And you can see that you can actually use the coach while the slide is in. You can't pull the Murphy bed down. There's just not enough space to do that, but you certainly could sit in the theater seating up front, use the couch in the back. There's still enough space in the aisleway to get back and forth to the bathroom. The bathroom's still usable. But take a look at this. I mean, when the slide is fully extended, I mean, look at the amount of space that we have inside of this coach. There's a pedestal table that can be set up in front of the theater seating. I like the overall look. I mean, I think it has a more modern feel to it with the flat cabinets. I like the color scheme with the ultra leather and the wood plank vinyl flooring, the lighter color Corian on the kitchen counters. It all looks really nice, and you can see from these shots, I mean, when that slide is out, it just breaks open the interior space here. Considering that this Class C is just a touch over 25 feet in length. Definitely has more of a smaller Class A feel to it. Now here I am seated in one of the theater seats. You can see they're plenty wide. They're good depth. I got plenty of headroom. Nothing's going to bump my head above or behind. And they were very comfortable. And as I mentioned before, you can opt to have a dinette in here, and this is the dinette version. You can see the table here is integrated, and you can push that down, and this does change into a sleeping berth. As well, you can opt to have the trifold sofa. Now this is the 25TW, but it's the same trifold sofa. And again, that trifold sofa will turn into a sleeping area as well. So on the 25RW, two people can sleep on the Murphy bed. You can get one or two people to sleep here on the trifold sofa, or when you convert the dinette into a bed. And then up above the cab is an overhead berth, and you could sleep another one or two people up here as well. Now, as we take a look at the overhead berth, there are no windows on the side, and this particular version of the RW, for some reason, does not have the window there at the front, and I'm not sure why that is. Now, as well, here at the entryway mounted to the side of the kitchen cabinets, this particular coach is configured with the Bigfoot leveling system, as you can see here. So that's going to allow you to both stabilize and then level individually. I believe it's a 4-point system. And then down below, you can see this particular control panel means that we have multiplex wiring in this coach. Step back into the galley. It's a nice looking galley. I like the flat cabinets. I like the hardware. I like the Corian, the color of the Corian, the modern faucet. You have pretty good counter prep space. I mean, I wish there were a little bit more. We are in a larger Class C, and we have seen more counter prep space in some of the B vans that we've been in. But it's okay here. Now, there is no counter extension, so what you see here is what you get. The sink is pretty deep. It's a 2-burner propane gas stove. And as far as storage, you can see we've got good cabinet space above. That's a small pull-out pantry there. Might be good for spices. And then down below, good storage underneath the sink. And you have a big drawer underneath your convection microwave. That's a 2-door, 3-way, 6.5 cubic foot refrigerator with a separate freezer. Now, 3-way means that this is an absorption type refrigerator. It's not a compressor driven refrigerator. And as I mentioned before, you've got a convection microwave oven. This one's located below the counter. You'll have to decide if that works for you, bending down, or if you prefer to have it up higher. And in this model that we're looking at, underneath the sink, we also get the central vacuuming. That's the central vac system, and that's a nice feature to have. I don't know where the bag is, though, on it. While we're talking about power-hungry appliances like central vacuums and refrigerators, take a look at the electrical system. We have two 12-volt Group 27 lead-acid AGM batteries. That gives us a total of 180 amp hours. Now, as far as I know, there is no, at this point, lithium upgrade path, so those are the batteries that you get. Stock, you get a 1,000-watt inverter, or although you can upgrade, and this particular coach has been upgraded to the 2,000-watt inverter. I prefer the 2,000-watt inverter because you just can run more appliances, like you could run your microwave and still be running, charging your laptop and having all your lights on and things like that. A 1,000-watt inverter probably is not going to run your microwave, so you're going to need to start your generator in order to run your microwave. Speaking of which, standard, you get a 3.2 kilowatt diesel generator. That's nice because the chassis is diesel, and you can just tap right off. It taps right off the diesel tank for the chassis, and you don't have to worry about it using propane. And then optional, you can get up to 170 watts of solar. That's a little bit disappointing, especially since the roof of this coach has so much space. It really would be nice if you could go up to 300-400 watts of solar, but 170 watts is what they give you, and that's optional. Now, as we step back into the second lounge, and I put that in air quotes, this is also where your Murphy bed is. But when the Murphy bed is up, you have this second couch that you can use as a second living area inside of your coach. And that's really unique and really nice in a coach this size, which again is only around 25 feet long. You have just a whole bank of storage on the opposite wall on the passenger side, including an optional LCD TV back here. There's a standard LCD TV that's in the front lounge, but this is an optional second LCD TV that you can have. And by the way, there's a third LCD TV which you can get, which is on the outside, which we'll see when we take a look at the outside. Here you can see me seated on the couch in the second lounge when the Murphy bed is up. And the comfort was just okay. It's not adjustable. There's no footrest. You can't adjust the back. The cushion comfort, it's just all okay. But keep in mind that this is a second living area in a 25-foot coach, and you got to take it for what it is. I mean, you can have two living areas. You have a TV back here. You still have your front living area there, which also has its own TV. So I think it's perfectly adequate as a second living area. I don't know if I would be happy if it were my primary living area, but it's not. All right, let's take a look and see how we convert this area into a bed. The first thing you do is you just remove these seat backs. They're just Velcroed in. And then you're going to reach down into the couch down here. I don't like the way this is. It's a little bit clumsy. You reach down, there's a latch down there, and then you flip down these metal legs. I also don't like those. They're very flimsy. And that comes down, then you extend the bed and just flip out the rest of the mattress. And now you've got your queen size bed that's 60 by 74 inches. And here you can see me laying on it. I'm 5 feet 10 inches. You know, it's unfortunate to me. You have this big slide out and you've got this big Class C coach, and I just really wish that they would have made the bed a little bit longer for taller folks. I mean, you've got the slide all the way out here, and I'm 5'10", and I just fit on this bed. So if you're 6 foot, you're just going to fit on the bed, and if you're taller than 6 feet, you're probably not going to be able to fit on the bed. And to put it back, you just reverse the whole process and fold it back up again. Yeah, so lengthwise, I wish that bed were a little bit longer. You know, the inside of the coach is 6 feet 8 inches high, which is great. The shower, as we'll see a little bit later, is really tall as well. So tall people can fit inside the shower. So if this bed would have just been a little bit longer, it would have been ideal. Okay, let's head into this bathroom. It's a rear bath at the back of the coach. It's a dry bath, meaning that the shower is completely separate from the toilet and the sink. Here you can see the shower. Now that's plastic. That's a plastic insert there designed to look like tile. It does have a little bit of a cheap feel to it, but it is one piece and it's fine for a shower. You got a big window there. Love the modern look of the bowl sink. Nice Corian counters. Got plenty of storage inside of here. And it's a fairly large bathroom. I mean, someone could be taking a shower and another person could be at the vanity at the sink, and you're going to have enough space for 2 people in this bathroom. All right, let's take a look at this shower again. Now, the dimensions of this shower are 24 by 36 inches. Here you can see me standing in it, plenty of elbow room, really a lot of height with that skylight above my head. So again, taller folks are going to feel pretty comfortable in this shower. And here I am sitting on the toilet again. Lots of shoulder room, lots of head room. I don't feel at all constricted here sitting on the toilet. Good amount of space. Let's wrap up the bathroom by talking about some tank capacities. Pretty good freshwater capacity, 38 gallons. Gray water, 32 gallons. Black water, 28. And liquid propane is 16. Now, these are good numbers. I'm glad we have a pretty large black water tank, and our freshwater tank's 38. You know, candidly, you know, last week we took a look at the Panoramic, which is a Class B, much smaller than this, and had very similar tank sizes. So considering this is a much larger coach, these are adequate, although I would like to have seen a little bit larger tank sizes here to allow you to boondock a little bit longer. All right, let's take a look at the exterior really fast and take a look at some of the exterior storage. So, you know, it's a Class C. It's not going to be, you know, it's not going to win any awards for being good looking. There are lots of swoopy graphics. We have to expect that because these Class Cs have big vertical sidewalls that have to be covered. It looks fairly typical of any Class C. There's a lot of exterior venting and storage compartments and things like that. That's your refrigerator vent. Oh, this is built on the brand new 2019 Mercedes Sprinter cutaway chassis. And that means that we're going to get all the new safety features. That means it has active lane keeping assist. It will actively, if you have it turned on, nudge you back into the lane. It's got active and adaptive cruise control. Automatic collision, active collision detection, meaning if it senses that you're going to hit the car in front of you, it'll actively hit the brakes. So those active systems are just a step above the previous generation, which were passive systems. Let's take a look at the dimensions. 25 feet, 7 inches in length. Not too terribly long for a Class C. There's certainly Class Cs that are longer, certainly longer than any Class B that I've ever reviewed. Exterior width, 7 feet, 6 inches. Exterior height, 11 feet, 4 inches. Your interior height, as I mentioned, 6 feet 8 inches. So taller folks are going to feel pretty good standing inside of here. And the ever important exterior storage, lots of it here, 37 cubic feet. We're going to come back to that in just a second because this is a very important point about this coach. But before we get to that point, let's just take a look at my driver's seating position. Comfortable. I have the seat pushed all the way back here, And you can see my arms are fully extended. I've still got plenty of room for my legs. Now, something interesting happens on this new chassis, on this Mercedes, which has the electric seat controls. You try it out yourself. It's almost as if they've tuned the computer system, which controls the seat, to think that there's a bulkhead or something behind you, and it needs to, not run into that. So it's pushing the seat back forward so you're not hitting the bulkhead. But in this case, there's no bulkhead behind you. And so it's just a little bit odd that the seat back's kind of moving forward as you're pushing the seat back. Okay, let's take a look now at some of these storage compartments. We're on the driver's side at the very back of the coach. You can see that's a whole coach water filtration, which is excellent. As we move forward of that, this is your dump station as well as your city water hookup. Now, here's something to keep in mind. Notice how your dump station here and all the discharge valves and things are fully enclosed into this compartment, which I believe is also heated. So that makes this coach much more four-season because all the water lines are internal, and these discharge lines are likely not going to freeze as quickly in really low temperatures because they're all in an enclosed heated compartment. Now we're underneath the slide, and you can see, unlike the leisure travel vans Unity, which has the compartments moved out flush with the end of the slide and they move in and out with the slide, these compartments are located not attached to the slide, but on the chassis itself. So you kind of got to climb under the slide to get to them, but you got some storage there. And then forward of that, you've got your propane tank and your propane fill. And here's a good shot just kind of showing you all the storage on the driver's side and all the compartments on the driver's side below the slide. And as we come around to the passenger side, we're going to step through here. You can see all these storage compartments here. There's the exterior television. Coming from the back on the passenger side, got some storage there. Moving forward to your 3.2 kilowatt diesel generator. And then we have a little bit more storage as well. Okay, let's talk about occupant and cargo carrying capacity, or OCCC. And this is probably the biggest problem I have with the Wayfarer in general, and in particular this model, the Wayfarer 25RW. We start off with a very limited 682 pounds of occupant and cargo carrying capacity. Now, 682 pounds is for everything, including you and all your passengers, as well as your water. So we have to subtract off of that your weight as the driver, and I just put 160 pounds in, and then your passenger's weight, if you have a passenger, and I put 130 pounds in, and then the weight of a full tank of water. So it's 38 gallons, 8.3 pounds per gallon. That's 315 pounds to carry around a full tank of water, leaving you with a net cargo carrying capacity of just 77 pounds. Now, that's for everything. We have nothing inside the coach at this point. We have no dishes, we have no chairs, we have no exterior storage compartments filled up with anything, we have no clothing, we have no food in the refrigerator, nothing. So for everything that we need to take with us, we have 77 pounds. And that is just simply not anywhere near enough. There'll be no space left to put anything in all that massive exterior storage that they tout in their marketing. So some of you will say, look, I go to the forums and I read on the forums that people who have the Tiffins pack them full and they're fine and they haven't had any problems. And that's fine. And if you feel comfortable doing that, then by all means, go do that. But for me, I could not do that. I don't recommend that. That's unsafe to me. The vehicle is rated for a reason by the government. It's required that the RV manufacturers put on the occupant and cargo carrying capacity that coach can safely carry in terms of braking, in terms of handling. And if you go over that, you do so at your own risk. And I don't know what the implications are for that. If you have an accident, you'll need to research that. If your insurance company is going to find out that you are over your capacity and not cover you, I don't know. But just be aware of that. Not all Class Cs have this problem. This particular coach, the Wayfarer, does, and this is one of the biggest problems that I have with it. The other problem that I have with the Wayfarer is, unfortunately, quality. This coach, there were some serious quality issues, like, and some of these are really small, but like this is the step-in plate to the driver's side, and it's just peeling up. Just the, the coating that they put over the plate, the non-slip coating is just peeling up. Again, it's not a big deal. They can glue it back down, but it just shouldn't be that way. That shouldn't be happening. On the inside of the coach here in the kitchen, what you see back behind there, right there, is a roller on the kitchen counter there that fell off one of the windows. Again, they can easily put that back in, but it's just not what I would expect to see in a $150,000 coach. Here's some problems here. Look at the ceiling liner here above the cab in the overhead cab bunk area. It's coming out. Again, and you can see on the side there as well, it's just not, that's not quality to me, especially in a coach this expensive. There's some more problems there with the lining. And over here above the slide, I saw some holes there that would look like something, I don't know, was attached or not attached, but there were holes there. Look, you need to go into one yourself. You need to check it out and see what you feel the quality is. I will tell you this, they're not inexpensive. Here you can see the dealer pricing range anywhere from maybe $145,000 to $155,000. The coach that we were looking at right here was priced at $150,000. So $150,000, that's July 2019 pricing. You only get a 1-year coach warranty. I think that's also a problem. Maybe that reflects the build quality that we're seeing. I don't know. It does come though with a 1-year roadside assistance program, which is great. Another little bit of a head scratcher. There's only 2 3-point seat belts. Those are the 2 that are in the cab, although the coach itself can sleep 6. And I don't know if that means you're going to meet up with another family or there's going to be another car that is following you as you're traveling around that has the other people that can sleep with you. But the coach itself cannot carry 6 people safely in 3-point seat belts. It can only carry 2. So just be aware of that. So the pros of the Tiffin Wayfarer 25RW are that I love the layout. I think that giant slide on the side really just opens up the interior, gives you a ton of living space, gives you 2 lounges, one in the front, one in the back, has a 3-piece dry bath. I think it looks nice, it looks modern, it doesn't look kind of old and dated. The cons on this coach are huge. They are the occupant and cargo carrying capacity, just way too low, in my book, unsafe. And secondly, the build quality. I just think if you're paying this much money, you should expect more, you should get a longer warranty. All right, that wraps it up. Thanks so much for watching my review of this 2020 Tiffin Wayfarer 25RW. I hope you found it useful. We'll see you all again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.